Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pull Up 3. I am Paragon Don,
I'm Jamae.
And I'm Jay Trent.
and today we have residential co-Seas fan and also Sky fan Samuel, big homie Sam. So, if you would
Appreciate
like to, if you would
it.
like to tell us how you became a Sky fan.
Um, First off, what was it? Summer or off season 2021, whatever year Candace signed, that's when I came aboard. Keep it G with you guys.
Listen, I, we ain't never claimed to be no longtime fans, so it is perfectly fine. If you be asking me, you been a WNBA
So I
fan a
started
really long
watching,
time?
and I
Nope.
remember. So I started watching that season, and I didn't know like the other players on the team like before I started watching. But as I watched more, I liked them. So I remember Candace was there. Kamilla, that's still my one of my favorite players. Big Steph Dolson, shout out my girl, shout out Big Mama. Who was there? Quigley and Sloot, and shout out them too. So yeah,
And they defeated the evil Phoenix Mercury that year, so I appreciate them a lot because
absolutely needed that.
could could not have could not have another Mercury ring in the year of our Lord or this decade. Just would not have been good. Um, what are some of the things
Absolutely not.
that you liked and disliked about the Sky this year?
I'm gonna start with a dislike first.
I
Um,
started with negativity.
start with today. It's not no, we're not starting too negative.
All right, yeah, I'm very pro negativity around here. Let's get all the way negative.
Let's start with that. They had the young team CTE, I call it, where everything would go right for like 5 minutes, and then they'll spend like the next like half of the game like tripping over their own feet, which I don't really fault them for because again, young team. Some of Spoon's rotations confused me a lot. Like I was a little confused on why Kamilla didn't get a lot of run like for like the first half of the season. And I think the Seattle game, like the second one specifically, or for some reason she ran, I think Izzy for like most of the second half. That confused me a bit. Um, but that's about it. And for the lights, I like Angel development. I like Camilla when she got her groove. Chennedy, I love Chennedy to death. I mean, I think she started the season coming off the bench, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, I remember that. I liked her development as the year went on. My favorite bright spot was Michaela. I know people was like clowning when they traded, I think Marina. They're like, haha, she requested a trade, but I was like, cool. I think I tweeted like a week before that. I was like, trade Marina for Pitts and just give all her minutes to Michaela. So when that trade happened, I was like ecstatic.
I feel like trading Marina is
Yeah.
one of those like rare win-win trades. I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely.
for the most part, we knew that the Sky were going to be worse without Marina, even though she never fully lived up to the expectations that were set upon her. Um, but it did open up a lot more for the other people on the team. Again, knowing they were going to be
Yeah.
worse, but like you got to be bad before you're good, and that's just how things work. I think a lot of people acted like they had a big expectations for the Sky before the season, and I feel like most people should have remembered, hey, we had them last in the league, and they were fighting for the A seed before the season ended. Like that should be
Yeah.
considered a good thing. Um,
Absolutely. I think the pick situation got a lot of people hoping for like playoff or bust for whatever reason. Because like no, was it Dallas on their pick? So it's not like people looking at it like they didn't have a pick at all in the draft when it was just a swap. And then once Dallas started off and was clear they was gonna be like a top two worst team, I kind of stopped caring about that. So I was like, at one point, I wanted the playoffs, but then, like I said, once it was pretty clear Dallas was going to bottom out, I was like, okay, we can't finish any worse than them, regardless of what happens at this point. So either playoff or a top 4, 5 pick. So it was a win-win.
I think one of the things that you mentioned Kennedy, it was kind of funny how like for when we were doing our recaps in the beginning of last season, we kept saying like, "Oh yeah, Kennedy is running away sixth player of the year," and then Teaspoon was starting her, and I was like, "Hmm, she's not gonna have enough games off the bench to qualify for this." And then it was like a mad scramble on like, who are we gonna have as sixth player of the year now? Because Kennedy has played too many games in the starting lineup, so I don't know what we're gonna do. Um,
I think she would have been an all-star in like a regular all-star voting year, like a non-Olympic year.
yeah, I could absolutely see that because some of them
Yeah,
guards on the Olympic team were very questionable. Some of them were injured. Some of them
very.
just kind of stink. Uh,
Uh, Shout out Plum Dog.
She had a rough year. Not too much on her. Not too
and
much.
y'all
Not
y'all
too
see, I
much.
didn't say it. I just want that to be seen that I didn't mention her.
I'll say it. It's okay.
I was actually thinking of the guard in Seattle when I was thinking of stink.
Well,
Uh,
unfortunately,
yeah. Um,
And he missed the first half of the season
yeah,
too.
and
So
yeah,
let's
it's just
to
like
be everybody else.
Diana got a AARP spot. She got one of them
Yeah.
Dirk. She got one of the Dirk All-Star ones. Who was it? It was Dirk. It was Dirk and D Wade that year, wasn't it?
Dirk and D-Wade, and they actually retired, and Diana like came back. So shout out to her.
Um, but yeah, of course, one of the things that I think we all loved, another thing that we all loved was the emergence of Angel. I think very few people
F.
had her doing the thing. I mean, I can't imagine anyone really had her breaking a WNBA record for double doubles. Like that just would have been very. If you predicted that in the
I
beginning, I hope you
yeah.
put a parlay on that. Um, but yeah, just couldn't imagine someone predicting that in the beginning. I think people knew her rebounding was world class from start and that she was a pretty good defender. It's just the fact that like
Mhm.
her offense was shaky and people knew that. So it was like, how is this gonna work? And is she gonna be able to muscle people the way that she did in college? And by the end of the season, I think there still were some questions offensively as far as like because her shooting percentages were not the best. But she carved her way into a very, very successful season. Um, Honestly, to me, up until like the week before All-Star break, maybe like week and a half, I would have said she was leading in the Rookie of the Year race. Um, but Caitlin took off right before that point and then right after. Uh, but at the end of
Yeah.
the day, like she had a very, very successful season. So it's just a matter of what she continues to grow on. So that is like lovely to see. And then Kamilla, like she she come hoop and go home and get on live and like she do her damn job. Um
Carmella is
like the fact that they it seemed like there were ways they made her and Angel work together a lot. It was really cool, like seeing that dynamic. Because they just seem like two opposites, people wise or personality wise. But like on the basketball court, it seems to fit really well. At certain points, it seemed like the best passer to either one of them was each other, especially Kamilla. I think Kamilla did a really good job as a playmaker at the five spot. Like if she got the ball in like the high or low post, she could pass it to the open man very or open woman with very, very well. I think that was one of her underutilized skills, or not underutilized, but underspoken skill sets coming out of South Carolina. So, but yeah, other than that, the I just one of the things I think I disliked was just more of the off court. drama stuff. And I mean, we've spoken on that. Somehow it ended up turning into like a uh this player is jealous of this player every day, and it's like I don't know how this started, but this is nasty, and I don't know what this is about to turn into. Um, Teaspoon getting fired obviously hurt a lot, especially
Definitely.
Angel. Whether it ends up working out in the future, Lord knows, but that was definitely kind of wild in a sense. Doing something
Yeah.
like that drastic with your star player being like, why the fuck did y'all do that? So,
Yeah. I
yeah.
never like to see coaches get fired after 1 year anyway. Like even if it's like a disaster season, I feel like you should at least give them like at least two, because 1 year on a bad rebuilding team is not fair to anybody.
Unless you email
So like I
and
said,
you
it very well. Yeah, unless you're a pervert for sure.
yeah, unless you just moving crazy in that front office.
Yeah. So yeah. So I would have at least given her a second year, but I mean, if they really are about to, I want to see what the front office does. I want to see if they're like how they maneuver this off season, basically, to make the coaching firing make sense. So you just got to rebuild and still just kind of play it by ear with the new coach. That doesn't really make too much sense to me, but we'll see.
Yeah, I wonder. I saw where Tyler Marsh was essentially saying when he spoke with the Sky front office, like during the interview process, he said that he was outlining for them what I need from y'all in order for me to be successful as the coach of this team. So of course, we won't know what that entails, but I'm sure he's probably saying we got some work to do in here. So,
Oh,
I need a runway. So, and I know that he's gonna be bringing, some of the Vegas system as far as, the way they run their offense. He's gonna be trying to incorporate some of that, and there could be, types of players he wants to bring in. So it's interesting to me, and I've said this plenty of times, but it just felt like you said, it felt like the teaspoon firing was a bit premature, just considering that the team was ahead of schedule this season. Because I'm pretty sure I had the Sky as like the 11th seed, and they were a game out of the playoff
mm-hmm.
with like 2 or 3 games left. So it felt a bit early, but I think um maybe a clean slate is what the franchise needs. So we'll see.
Definitely needs a clean slate. My thing going into the draft, I hope they draft for guards in the first round. That was the biggest flaw last year. Like Don said, nobody could throw an entry pass except for Angel and Kamilla.
I
Not
think
too much, because Lindsay Allen did her job. Not too
Little
much.
Yeah,
Not too much.
and I was appreciative of Lindsay Allen's game. It was just one thing that I felt like was a big hindrance for her was she wasn't she wasn't as willing to shoot as she probably should have been. Like I can understand as a shooter it being frustrating you got when you taking shots and they're not going down, but if you stop shooting them,
That's
then
even
you
worse.
really not giving nobody a reason to guard you. Like you gotta at least put the shot up. If you open, you got to put the shot up
Yes, for
because
shooting, you're doing it.
eventually, like if you continuously putting them up and you hit a couple, now the defense got to come out and guard you, and that opens up the lanes for you to make passes to your bigs
Absolutely.
instead of instead of oh we can sag off of her because she's not gonna shoot
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, that's what like we kind of talked about this mid-season. And after the Marina trade, because they were like Marina shot like 80% of their threes or some shit like that. It was an egregious number. Um, But like one of the points I was making was that like at this point everybody needs to be empowered to shoot the ball. Like I understand you kind of want to play this inside out game, but you can't really afford to do that with the way teams are obviously going to clog the paint, especially with Kamilla being there, and Angel, ready to crash the board to get the rebound. And so it's like I think like that really should have been an emphasis for them. And I feel like once they came back from um the break, it wasn't. Like I feel like they were still trying to run with their same game plan. And I'm like, that don't really work. That's not gonna work here because y'all don't have the personnel for this to work. And I feel like even if they had focused on guard play, like it might have been helpful because Angel is a great rebounder. Kamilla is 6'7". Like between the two of them, like at some point they was like both getting double doubles every game. And so it's like between the two of them, like y'all should be able to, you know, win the boards and hopefully that can like, get you some more offense. Um, assuming that your guards are not making these shots. Um, and I feel like too, the thing about Teaspoon, like changing, I think a lot of people like toward the very end of the season, they were kind of getting mad because she was um letting Izzy play more and um I think Dana got a little bit more minutes. Diamond was starting to get more minutes. Like a lot of the people that I think we originally thought would have been like handling the team, it kind of shifted to them, especially after Angel's
Mm-hmm.
injury. And I feel like a lot of people were mad at that, but I think that like honestly, she should have tried to like balance that more in the beginning. Like there was no reason for, like Don said, we did not expect Angel to be this like very dynamic player. Like we knew what she would do in terms of rebounding, but like just like her hustle and all of that stuff translated really well too. Um, and I don't think people expected her to be as dynamic as she was. And I think that pushed Chicago in a place that like they weren't really prepared for. Um, because I think in my mind, they would have got right with Dana, Izzy, Diamond, like having them all kind of figure everything out on the front end and then slowly like working in Angel and Kamilla and whatever. But since that had to happen backwards, I think it looked really bad because everybody on at the second half, like they ain't really got no tick all season. So they don't have like they're not really prepared to play. And it that showed. Um so I think they should have kind of figured out a strategy like early on to just kind of see what works. And I know that like Izzy was like not fully healthy coming back and then Ewell got injured and
Mm-hmm.
that threw a wrench in a lot of things. But um yeah, I would have appreciated them like really trying some other stuff earlier on and not having to feel like, okay, well, Chennedy, like save us, Angel save
Mm-hmm.
us. Lindsay, please pass the ball. Like it shouldn't have. I don't think it should have been like that. Even if like we knew they were gonna be bad, but when you're bad, like you kind of can just be bad. Like nobody has expectations of you. So like I think it's okay to lean into that, especially for young teams.
Definitely. I feel like the structure was a bit off. Like you said, we went to the season expecting to be bad, probably expected to lean on the vets a bit more, but Angel kind of her Kennedy's break, I think it accelerated expectations a little bit too much for everybody involved. So when the game plan going in goes from just playing, let's see what we got to okay, now let's actually win games. And you got a lot of players on the team who don't know how to win games in this situation that you're leaning on and asking to get it done. It gets a bit rocky, especially for the vets who came in the season expecting to be the head of the snake, and now their roles are constantly in flux. So yeah, so I think that season everybody should have a bit more like defined roles and expectations, so that should make us a little smoother transition, I think.
I think Tyler has a little bit like more to work with in a sense, or at least like more of a definition. Or definite of like, okay, Angel did this last year, so this is what we're doing. Kamilla did this last year, this is what we're doing. And whoever else ends up being protected by the expansion draft, I don't think Teaspoon really had that. I think one of the things that's important for young teams, or really like any team that wants to be successful in the long run, is establishing an identity on like this is what are we doing to be successful? How are we running our team? And what are we basing things on? And I think Chicago's didn't really have one to start the season, and then their identity ended up being Angel. And I don't
Hmm.
just don't think that's a recipe for success. And because I just don't think Angel has gotten to that level yet. Of course, she played fantastic, but like even the really good teams who have the best players in the league, they have an established identity outside of their MVP caliber players. But the Sky's identity was Angel. And it just was like, and I'm sure that may have been another reason on why, like, there might have been friction or whatever, or people who weren't sure of what do I do in this situation? Where am I supposed to go? How is it supposed to work? Because I can imagine, like y'all said, if I come into the season and I expect to play a certain amount of minutes and do this because I've been doing this somewhere else, and then now I got to eat after the rookies eat, mm, that's a little strange. Okay, I guess like that.
I guess.
So, yeah, I can see that. In an expansion draft, of course, that's coming up in 6 days.
3.
3, dear heavens.
Two.
Yeah,
Friday.
that's it.
Uh, what 6 players? I think that's why I said 6. What 6 players would you protect on the Sky in an expansion draft?
Let's see. Well, obviously Angel, Kamilla, Chennedy, Michaela, Elizabeth Williams, and maybe Lindsay. Maybe.
Okay.
This is
I'm pretty
interesting.
sure. I think
So,
Dana wants to change the scene. I think Dana and I would love to keep Izzy. I'd like her, but I think her and Dana are looking for like a change of scenery. So
What do you Jay, you pulling up what 6 players we kept at the quarter of the way of the season?
Oh yeah, I have our list. We did Angel, Camilla, Kennedy, Dana, Lindsay, and E Will. So pretty
Okay.
much everybody except Dana. Would you say
mm,
Mike?
so, um, so I'm looking at her hoop stats. They did a projected protectees, and they had the same 6 that we had. So if it was, well, no, it was Angel, Camilla, Kennedy, Ewell, Michaela, and Dana, and then they,
sounds about right.
and then they had Golden State taking Lindsay Allen.
Hmm.
Interesting. I
Gotcha.
I do appreciate the Dana, like keep at least her hoop stats being like we're gonna keep Dana because she got really bad PR this year. I feel like a lot of people was really trying to blame her for things that she did not do. And if I need to pull up the stats, I will because she did not like I got the numbers. I got the numbers. Actually, when Dana played, over like 15 minutes, the Sky won. So anyway, we're not getting into that. But she had bad PR. And a lot of people I think made her a scapegoat for things that she didn't do. And I think it was easy to, right? Like she's playing, it's very obviously she's playing in an uncomfortable setting, and
Mm,
playing with a new type of system. So I think that's like a hard transition for anybody. But I do appreciate that they like kept her because I do think like there is a version of a Sky where at least Dana and Angel can play really well together. And I also think like even her and Kamilla, like I think um I think there's a version of the Sky that all of them will play well together. And so um I kind of want her to stay, but like I understand her like not wanting to be in a situation where like your whole fan base hates you
Yeah.
already. Um so
Honestly, we mentioned that before, but I feel like that'd be the only thing that's like scary about the future of the Sky. Uh, it's like they have slightly less a slightly toned down. Well, it's like I wouldn't even say it's really toned down. It's just a different version of the fever where like if you play bad, everything is your fault. And if you play and if things are going well, it's because there's one person on this team. And if you're
Basically.
playing bad, we will make your life hell. I promise you that. And it's like as a I think most star players can handle stuff like that. Like because there's just like it is what it is. But I think with the average WNBA player being a lot more like reachable, um, especially if you're not a top 20 player, like all-star caliber player, whatever, whatever, it's like, do I really want to deal with this? Like, is any of this worth it? I can go play in Connecticut and not hear nothing from nobody, actually. So other than that, I don't. That's kind of my only thing is like how much of that is really going to affect how much people desire to play and or stay there. Um, okay, so we talked about. Dang, I can't believe expansion draft is 3 days away, and I'm ready for them to be messy and say who kept who because I know they already know.
Oh, they know.
they
They
will turn
might
in their list on
No,
Monday.
yeah,
they
the lists have already been turned in. So
I know
they
the
know.
players know if they got kept or not. I know
No,
a
I
G.
feel like I don't think they told them
I think
because
some of the
I feel like somebody would have leaked it. One of the
I think
players would have slick leaked it.
some of the GMs hit up one of these players like, listen, do not sign another lease on that apartment. You you need to wait till after Sunday.
Sunday. Don't sign nothing.
That is crazy.
Do not move into that apartment. It's not go. It's just hold on a second.
So do the
Do
Valkyries
not
just
put
like
your kid
take
in that school.
turns? Well, so they just like go one by one, like each team a couple times and grab a player,
Yeah,
or
pretty
how
Okay,
does
much.
that
Like
work?
they'll
so
just go down the
since
list and say, "Who I want."
since there's only one expansion team this year, um, they have to take they're going to be taking one player from each team.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which just feels like that's just so messy. Like for you to like you know what I'm saying? Like you to be in a pool of people. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, what is that juicy or confidence as a person? You know what I'm saying? You didn't get protected, but you weren't
Or you
good
just
enough
pick
to be picked. Like I don't like really like what y'all trying to say about me? Like, am I not usable? I don't know. I mean, so a little bit like maybe they shouldn't have told nobody because like I don't feel some type of way. Like y'all ain't protect me and the Valkyries didn't want me. Like, are y'all saying I'm trash? Like, absolutely not.
Valkyrie's gonna be like their first year as a franchise and have like random role players like playing their ass off against them every matchup for no reason.
This is
Oh
the
yeah,
Valkyrie are trap
they finna
gang
be
every game.
yeah, they finna be a league pass team. Like that's the team that you get league pass for. You like, you know what? I'm gonna go see who they playing. I'm gonna see just to see what they look
Like y'all ain't want me back.
The Graceburger revenge game is gonna kill me.
A full season of revenge games is
Every
crazy.
game of
40,
revenge.
44 games of don't piss me off.
They they a stat pad game for the elite players in a revenge game for like half the league.
Nasty. That's
Or
so
so.
nasty.
Somebody might get in 50.
Yeah.
Out
I
of
Uh,
can't.
all the people,
What
okay, no,
what's
okay.
the
Out of all the people we think that are not gonna be saved, who is most likely to at least put up 30?
you want me to be
I
messy?
think
the
Izzy
Izzy
could give
30
a 30
ball.
ball.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I
Hold
was gonna
on, hold
say
on, hold on.
non-protected player most likely to just cook for a game. I feel like Ariel probably
Uh,
Yes,
has this.
that's a good one. That is a good one.
No,
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
yeah.
The Dana Evans revenge game definitely
hey,
coming.
listen.
Whether it's against the Sky or the Valkyries. This is trying to miss for something.
Hey, bitch, y'all didn't pick me. That's so funny.
Dana's gonna snap several chains at some point in the season.
That is so funny. I'm trying to think who else. I low key though, very low key. If she were to get picked, very sleeper pick, Erica Wheeler. There
You
is
know
like
what?
she always
That's a
has this random
I
game
can
where
see
she
that
like
too.
goes off, and I see it.
I can
I can
see that.
see that.
Erica
I
definitely
can
kind
see
of forgot about during this last Fever season. And she's been the one there holding it down while they've been a train wreck the last few years. So I just see it.
It's probably gonna be Diamond Miller.
You know what? You're right. You're right.
that.
Diamond
Yeah,
Miller.
that's a good one too.
Diamond Miller might be Jeff Green. Like I I think she's gonna if this is her career trajectory, she's gonna be given like she gonna have like a random she's just gonna have a string of 10-point games and then she gonna have like a she gonna have a 30 ball and you gonna be like, damn, you really next up. And then just another string of 10-point games. And then a random 30 ball. And it's like, I knew you had to see you. You
But the
next
potential,
up.
yeah.
And so it might be Diamond.
That's
we,
a
sh-
that's a good one.
we
That's a
shall
good
see.
one.
When is when is regular draft day? That's in like April, right?
Yeah, I
In
think it's like the
April.
25th
Yeah.
or something.
Okay, true. Just wonder. I'm team AZ. How do you say it now?
Jay-Z.
Oh yeah.
AZ.
I'm team AZ to Chicago. Since
I don't think she coming out. I don't know. I don't think she gonna come
I hope
out. But she might though, because she already
I
graduated.
think she
But she
if she
might.
does, team AZ to the sky, Big Virginia, not DC.
LOL.
It's cr-
Her or Tahina Pow Pow.
Okay. So
Uh,
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because um I was looking at this mock draft and they have this guy taking Olivia Miles at pick
ooh, I think
3 and then Tahina Pow Pow at pick 10.
I would love that. Any of those three, if we get two out of those three, I'll be straight. I
if
won't complain about anything.
okay, well let me ask this. If I think a lot of Sky fans want Olivia Miles because they need a guard.
Hmm.
If Dallas takes Paige and the Sparks take Olivia Miles, who do the Sky take? Because they can't take Kiki.
Yeah, they see. I wondered that a lot
I don't
too.
know.
I thought
I
the
might.
scenario falls past two could be very interesting.
If Tyler Marsh is gonna train Kiki, I don't know. I
The
might take
thing
her.
is, I think that's really good. I think Tyler Marshall turned Kiki into another like I've been saying it for a long time. I think that's the when people be talking about the next Asia, like that's baby Asia for real. But
Absolutely.
like Angel, Kiki, and uh and Kamilla is just such a log jam in a sense. Like it's like, damn, this is a lot of front court and not a lot of space.
Well, when Angel become a big guard, it's gonna all work out.
Angel.
Hey, listen, she used to be one.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
right. It's right. It's really just the injury that slowed her down. Like we can bring that back.
If she get this three ball, like she keep posting, maybe she could play the three.
What was that game? Was it the Seattle game
Yeah, the
when
Seattle game.
she hit them threes?
Yeah.
Like you know, like you know what? You know what? Okay, maybe
Megaball.
Well, I was at work hype as hell when she hit them threes.
LOL. Yeah, no, she did eat that one little thing. I
I
appreciate
was saying before last season that I want to see her and Kamilla just take like little 10 to 15 foot jumpers if they're there. Well, because they will be there. And somebody out of one of them has to shoot the ball at some point.
I think Camilla actually already has like a 10-foot, 15-foot jumper. She just never uses it because she's
Yeah, I
always at the
think
basket.
I tweeted that one time too. I could see that. Like that, like when she teed up the three versus who was that, Tennessee, it looked very the jumper looked good.
She has the fundamentals down for a jump shot. I just think she like, I don't need to be doing this. And I can respect that.
I can
She she feel like
I fully support that actually.
Camilla is like, yeah,
I'm of like
oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say like the fact that she can step out and shoot. She got like a little
She
mid
do.
range to her game. She do. She got a little bit. I don't think the three is necessary if you 6'7" because
No.
you should be in the
no,
paint.
absolutely not.
Like you should be in the paint. Period. But if if you make it to where teams have to guard you at, let's say it's 16 feet. If you make it to where teams have to guard you from out there, and you got the passing chops that Kamilla has to be a big, think about how that opens up cuts
Absolutely.
on like so it could I think that could be something useful to look to add. It don't need to be the main weapon in her arsenal. But if she got it, it ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Yeah, I do wonder if they'll like play in a high post a little. I mean, play around the free throw line a little bit more because I feel like a lot of W teams do this. Like they are playing like this very extended game, and it's like y'all are not about to pull that shit. Please walk a little closer. Like we don't you don't have to do that.
Facts. And that, like I said, and it opens up the driving lanes for the guards a lot more too. Plus, when you have somebody like Chennedy, who's probably like one of the quickest player in the league. So if you can't like just pat the paint on Angel and Camilla, and you have to guard step out a little bit to guard one of them, now she has a lot more room to work with.
And Kennedy hoop like a '09 D Wade. My girl not shooting no threes. If I shoot a
Absolutely.
three,
She
if she
did shoot
shoot,
them threes though against the Aces.
it's like
But that
if
game, I
if
was like, sister, why didn't you do that before?
if Kennedy shoot a three, it's because the shot clock is winding down and the ball just so happens to be in her hands. It is that shit is not by choice.
Nah, Kennedy
It's
definitely the rock and to look you in the eye and be like, "I'll do it to you right now," and she will.
she
Tune
is
up.
she is a do her ass all star. I respect that.
I love them.
Work her shit. Do her ass.
Do it.
She can't guard you. That's
Kennedy
I
wants
just
the
feel
rock
like she just hears that in her head all game, and it be working.
all day.
It's just it's two devils on her shoulder saying
Do it.
this nigga cannot guard you. I swear to God they can't.
Shoot it right now.
All right, well let's look at these this free agent list.
Oh yeah, let me see the free agent list. I haven't really looked that too much into it.
Okay, so while Don is pulling that up, what type of free agent would you be looking to add if you're Chicago?
We need ball handlers and floor spacing. So anyone who can get the ball up, get everybody in their sets, and shoot and knock down the jumper.
Mhm.
All right, so can everybody look at this? Or can everybody see?
You wanna sort the position by guards so we
I,
can see
sh
the top.
I sure can.
Erica Wheeler.
Ooh,
You
love
actually want Erica Wheeler, actually.
it.
Not for 225K, but if you could get her on
They could
100K.
Oh, definitely. Is
they
is Skylar a free agent this year? Okay,
No, she is not.
okay. I know they got that little turmoil going on over there.
if anybody leaving is Jewel.
And you know what? You're
I don't
right. We did
Yeah,
discuss this. Jewel is gonna be so much better when that Chicago sun hit her. She's
think
gonna feel so refreshed like, in the Windy City. Like it's gonna happen.
I I would love to see that actually. Like that would be some fun basketball because like you said, that's a ball handler and a floor spacer.
absolutely. But Jewel has a bit of the Jewel's like kind of a black hole at some points.
So
That
am I so we about to get let me think of a hypothetical trade. I don't even know what the money match, and I don't even care. So
It's about to be derogatory.
Jewel Lloyd
Gonna be
for
so crazy.
Kiki and Michaela.
Ooh,
mm,
Seattle?
Yeah.
Jewel for Kiki and Michaela.
Mm.
Olivia Miles gets picked up by LA. So Seattle calls the phone and says, I got a guard for you. I got a guard for you. Actually. I get
How old
naked.
is Jewel? Like
If, if you
You get a vet
Kiki,
presence
first
in
of
the
all,
locker room. I get NECA insurance.
Kiki playing next to
no.
Kiki learning under NECA would I'd probably cry. Like I
And
can't think of
fucking
That is
anything.
and defending behind Ezzy? Like, can we like hold
Yeah.
on? You might be onto something. This one maybe wasn't derogatory. Hold on.
Listen,
I'm
again, I
thinking.
don't even think the money match up, but I know there's a way to finesse that.
It probably don't, but it's something that I would listen to that just because.
They'll throw in a third round pick. It don't matter. They'll work it out. I
I
like
like that
that. I like
they
that.
entertain that one, I think.
A
Mhm.
sign and trade. Send Brianna Turner over there too. Just to make the money match. Ah,
To make it mad. You get your young star of the future learning from your former MVP for like the next year or some change.
and I
Yeah,
honestly
no, too,
think
because they ain't gonna have Kia Nurse no more. And Brianna Turner is actually like a serviceable big when she like want to play basketball. So Kia Nurse might be picked up in the expansion draft. I see the
I see the
vision.
vision too.
and I
He
and
tripled up.
I understand with Seattle they want to win now, but I think they'll benefit from addition by subtraction. And also,
Definitely.
of course, Kiki's is really good. And with Michaela having the season that she had and being a shooter, I think that's one of the things
Mm.
they could also need. It's like, listen, I don't know who I don't know who Seattle GM is, but obviously that first shit you put together ain't work. And that's not your fault because you did what you were supposed to do.
You
But
tried. You tried.
let's
Dial it back, son.
let's play some 4D chess. Let's get right.
Seattle was like my second favorite team to watch like last year. And it became apparent very early on that the offense was very, very clunky.
Yeah,
It was
it felt like, and we've talked about Seattle already, but it felt like too many cooks
Way
sometimes.
too many cooks in the kitchen.
and
Yeah.
one of the cooks burned every dish they made.
It was an off day. It was an off day. The kitchen had to shut down and remodel.
It was too many
That-
cooks, and one of the cooks was bumping into niggas and spilling shit. And people are like, "Why the fuck are you spilling shit?" And she like, "Why are you yelling
Who
at
let
me?" And it's like, "Nigga, cause you spilling shit." Actually,
who let yeah.
Or say I usually would be like, don't whack her, but she low key. I'm gonna be quiet because she low key was. Anyways,
let me see who else. Sammy Whitcomb would be nice.
I
You
said Kia
would
Nurse. I meant to say Mercedes Russell. Wrong
you
person.
you would have I feel like Sammy do what Rachel Bannon was supposed to do, except a little bit better.
Do we
I mean,
think Plum is leaving?
yeah, I mean Sammy is older than Rachel Banham too, and Rachel Banham might be gone in the expansion draft.
That's
Point
also
for
true.
me. I feel like though that, but I do want to say that I think is a thing that Seattle kind of messed up on because I feel like they didn't really give. I feel like Sammy was like kind of eliminated, and I feel like previously she was very much a part of the like very much not staple, but like a staple of the team. So that probably was bad juju anyway. Um, y'all can get Ivana Dojkic. She cheap.
Actually,
Um,
yes, yes, y'all should be calling Ivana Jokic immediately
mhm.
because I mean, she can bring some juice to that offense for sure.
And technically, she got a championship. So
Technically,
Technically, yes,
technically, technically, she did win a championship.
Mhm.
um,
Did Marina
is Tip Hayes
Johannes technically win a
to play?
championship?
No.
No,
Okay.
No. Is Marine coming back?
that's a good question. Probably not.
I thought she said she
If
was
I had to guess,
That's
I
what I
thought she
heard.
said
if
she
I
was
had to
coming to
guess,
play, but she wouldn't be on I mean like she was just coming to play. I didn't know if it was definitely for the Liberty though.
it probably won't be.
If
If Marine is on the
I'm the Valkyrie, I need that.
absolutely.
Do you?
Yeah, you can't. I don't know if you can't get her through expansion probably because I don't know what the contract situation is, but negotiate some kind of way. Get her
If
over here.
she's available, I need like she kind of reminds me of Jason Williams in a sense of like they're really good at basketball and like they're good at basketball. If you want to win a championship with them as like a starter, or if you want to win a championship, you probably end up coming off the bench and like someone more serviceable. Like I think it kind of reminds me of when the Kings signed Mike Bibby and then they were like better. But for an expansion
Mhm.
team that's trying to attract people to watch and also do need somebody on the court that does just does cool shit just to do cool shit. I think she is the epitome of like I'm a hoop how I want to hoop. All right, and I'm gonna get niggas out they seats. And I think as an expansion team, it's really
You
not
need
that bad. Like we gonna stink in the anyway. I might as well throw it behind the back pass.
you got to sell those tickets.
If we gonna be 8-36,
I'm gonna get my game.
I'm getting my shit
They
off.
are 8-36. Those that everybody gonna be fired. Like I just let's just put that out there.
They get one free stink year.
No, not that bad. You need
Think my bag off all year long.
They get
Actually, you
one.
know what? We'll allow it.
It's a get out of. It's like it's a get out of jail free card. I'm a rookie head coach, and we're an expansion team, nigga. You pick these niggas. I don't know these niggas.
Speaking of expansion, do we see any of the like kind of the young players who are out the league right now getting picked up in like the next like year or two or so?
I
Like, do
think Destiny Henderson would be a good one. Like if people actually need like a solid point guard, I think she's a pretty good guard that I think could come back.
does my girl Alexis Morris recall?
Now, Sam, I really do hate telling good people bad news. But she might need to wait a little bit. We need to expand a little further before we call her.
Deasia Fair, come on down.
She might get
Good.
opportunity. She might.
I feel like I
Tiana
feel like
Jackson, that's
I
who
feel
I
like
need to
these
come back.
players are gonna be getting training camp invites at least,
Yeah.
and I would not be surprised to see a couple of them stick.
I actually need to know if she got her
Ain't
$100,000 or
shit.
not. Because if she didn't, I would. If I was her,
She definitely did
You want the
not, bro.
100K?
She
I
definitely did
would.
not.
Well, if I was her, I would have blew up that blew up that practice facility on some like Joker and Dark Knight type
So you
shit.
want her to go to
I
jail.
would like
Got you.
what they gonna do if
Hmm
she would have just shut
Nigga,
up the practice the next
you
day?
had me celebrating in the locker room because I got a sponsorship by the city of Las Vegas, and we were all supposed to get 100K each, and then you cut me before I get my 100K.
I'm coming to practice every day. I show up to the game with the sweats on and everything and walk through the tunnel. Like y'all gotta like, don't pay me this money.
At least give me 50.
Like something. We're
I
not
like
doing like
I know Mark Davis got it.
Mark Davis definitely got it.
That nigga give me $100,000 and I even notice it's out of account. Just go ahead, just go ahead and slide me that. You're not gonna miss it.
Not me the best. I feel though.
I'm trying to think. I'm really trying to stay away from like bigs when it comes to the sky. Uh, but I don't know. Like, funny enough, I think Gabby Williams would be like cool over there. But one, I think she wants to play for a championship. Two, she already said she would never play for the Sky again. So it's like
Yeah, Debbie's not coming back.
Gabby said, "I'll be damned if I touch this roster."
They
Imagine just being like, I don't want to play for an entire franchise. Like, sister, what happened? Like, we need to discuss that. Like,
I cannot wait until some of these players retire because I need all of the stories. Like,
yeah,
why did you act like that?
call Angel right now and give us a story. We can make it right. The players that rallied against her, I'm pretty sure are gone. It's okay. We can fix it. Get me in the room. I'll have it worked out in about 10 minutes.
Please, please, please.
Hear me out. Man, what y'all think about the schedule release yesterday?
I'm proud of them.
I
They never
love,
did that before that before.
yeah, I love, I love seeing the social media teams be petty. So I'm all for that.
Listen, WNBA has my favorite social media teams out of any league. Like the NBA teams, every now and then they'll do something like kind of petty or say stuff, and they'll be like, "All right, whatever." But like them WNBA teams, them niggas get down. Like they be talking shit all year. It's
I mean, like the stakes are a little bit higher. You know what I'm saying? You sweep a team in the WNBA, everybody watch that. But if you sweep a team in NBA, maybe somebody watched the game, maybe they didn't. We don't know. We don't recall what happened. So, you know.
It's real smoke in them trenches.
The Lynx did they damn Spotify rap shit, and they let you know like we swept like 3 or 4 of these teams. Like, yeah, you just so you know, we beat the brakes off of them niggas. When I think Chicago did they schedule release, and they were like, this team has a lot going on about Seattle. It's just like, damn, I can't even imagine getting on here and seeing this. I just caught this crazy ass stray. Um, the Connecticut Sun doing the weather forecast thing was really cool. Uh, the Las Vegas Aces doing the probably the most famous Key and Peele sketch, the handshake one. And when it got to the Liberty, it's like, I was like, oh,
Oh,
y'all want
wait, who was the lady that they pushed off? Was that Fever?
That was the
Was that
Liberty, I think.
Liberty?
yeah, they pushed off the
Okay.
Yeah, I
Liberty.
think it was the Liberty.
Okay.
I was
That shit
like,
is
oh
Liberty.
yeah,
The baby that got the hug was the Valkyries, and the baby that got the little handshake was
Portland
Toronto.
or Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toronto and Portland.
And I think the
Oh,
Toronto
no.
social media team was like, yeah, we love y'all too. And it's like, nigga, that was not that was not they did not fuck with y'all like that. That's not what that was.
Not at all. Speaking of the, let me get a couple bars off real quick. I can't leave here without this. Marina Mabrey veins pump Kool-Aid, by the way. How many games you lost because she couldn't make a free throw? And you the best shooter on the team. I think it was the Fever matchup they won while I was at home. No, I was at my mom's house watching the game. And I tweeted, I said, this game is going to come down to Marina at the free throw line. About 5 minutes later, rest assured, there she was. Missing the free throw. I said, of course. And I'm only saying this because people was like, haha, their culture's so bad. She wanted to get a trade. And it's like, then I read the article. She's like, I wanted a fresh start. And it's like, and that's cool. But like, you couldn't be the star. And that's cool. And there's nothing wrong with that because they ain't everybody be the star. So then you got traded to where you was like, if we don't suck, no, you was like, if I'm not going to be the star, I at least want to go somewhere where I can be the role player. And salute to that. I respect that. So you got to know your limitations sometimes. So salute to Marina.
That wasn't as
That is so funny. Kool-Aid is crazy.
Nah,
derogatory as I thought it was going to end up being. So that sounded like growth to me.
growth. I've had a lot of time to sit with it and make peace. So it's okay. And 6 months ago, though, we'd have been on here for a while.
That's
She
fine.
tried her best.
Yeah.
Her veins, it's okay.
It's
You're
funny
not fooling
that
me bench for a team that was in the finals like 2 years ago. I'm familiar with
Yeah.
their game. I've seen
Yeah.
this
It's
before.
not yeah, it's not Marina's fault that James Wade gave up a star package for her.
that's the real villain
It's
in
not.
all
Like
this, if we're being
and like
honest.
it was funny because even at the time people were like it was like, I mean, Marina's a good player. Like she looked good in Dallas, playing next to
And
RK.
next to Enrique, who was taking all
Right, but it
the
was next
heat.
to Enrique. Exactly. Exactly.
That's
But
one of
it's
those. That's one of them trades that everybody knows is bad at the time, and then it's not even like you could look back on this and be like, "Huh, we overreacted." It's like, nah, we knew this was bad at the start, so I don't know why y'all didn't. I just wonder what Chicago seen in her with her time for Enrique and was like, "We need this. Like, we need this bad."
I think it's the same thing because I feel like Marina in Dallas was closer to her in Connecticut than it was her. Like I feel like they saw her in Dallas and was like, oh my God, like she knows how to rise to the occasion. But it's like you can rise to the occasion when you're not superstar. Like if the pressure ain't on you,
Yeah.
you just doing your job. Like you know, you're getting your rocks off every now and again. And I think that I think James really thought he could like she could do that consistently. And I was like, she cannot. Like, I mean, why would you think that? Like,
And then James Wade ran away to go like sit on the Raptors bench. It's cool.
he get fired. Is he still on that bench?
I don't know. I think so.
Well, they're like 4-40, so
They was beating somebody just now. I
Uh,
hope it was the team I like.
yeah, they beat the Pacers, I think.
Oh yeah, it was
well, the
Halliburton.
Pacers stink.
Yeah. Hallibooty Burton is my favorite insult I've seen on Twitter in like a few years now. I give it to them.
He ruining my life.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But it's okay. I think the Raptors got another trip to DC and me and James Bay will have a conversation. It's okay. I'll be in it. But the return for Marina was really good. We got another pick in a very stacked draft too, I think. So
Yeah.
Oh
shout
no,
out to her.
what y'all got from
It is a deep
Connecticut was
draft. It's a
wonderful.
yeah. It's a deep
Absolutely.
draft and it's a good draft to need guard play. And I think that's kind of the main focus for Chicago. So I think that's gonna be helpful for them.
Definitely. When I seen the trade, I jumped for joy. And that's as I read it, I was like, word. So say less. We move. Michaela Minutes, new draft pitch. Well, we out of here.
Oh, I didn't even get to talk about Michaela. I was so glad to see her getting more burn because I feel like there's so much that could be done with her skill set. So I was glad to see that the trade could open up some minutes for her because I'm a big fan of her game.
I am here. I love her, Jan. Especially like the limited minutes the first half of the year. She really always stood out to me. So when getting like a chance to really open up for her and get her on the floor night in and night out, which is why when they was like, I don't mean to be unfair to Dana, but like when they was complaining that she was getting missed, like I feel you, but it's like I feel you, but I don't at the same time.
I think people forgot that Michaela was rookie of the year at one point, and like I know that was like not necessarily a good draft class, but it was like
Yeah.
she was still a pretty solid piece for a Liberty team trying to find themselves, and like she was a part of that turning point season for them to be who they are today. So like seeing her being able to turn it around and really like be like, yeah, that I know that wasn't like I know I wasn't averaging like 20 out the gate, but like I still was rookie of the year. Like I'm good at basketball.
Oh, definitely very good at basketball. So I'm glad she.
Yeah, she was pretty good in I mean she was pretty good in Phoenix. And I think that's kind of like what kind of people saw that she could like do so much more. Because she had a little bit of like a little bit of flexibility there. Um, but yeah, I am interested to see like how they expand her game.
Mhm.
Especially because she doesn't shoot a lot of threes. So I'm wondering if like that'll be something they try to push her more into.
I think so because she's a good shooter. She had a handful of games last year where she got hot out the gates from three. So it's just if it can just be a more consistent part of her game and get like the ball in rotation a bit more, that'd be really good. And if he can kind of develop her kind of the same track he did with like Jackie or Kelsey in Vegas, that would work wonders too. So hopefully she gets a long leash next year alongside whoever they draft, of course.
I believe in Tyler Marsh a lot, so we'll see if he proves me right. But I'm going to miss him very much. I do think it's funny that him and Natalie are in like two entirely different positions, and like I mean they're both starting with like rebuilding teams in a sense, but like she is starting with scraps. Like she is about to get the most bare bones shit that you could possibly give a coach. Like it's just gonna be, what can I get off of these niggas? And and I hope it's something that works out of here. And at least Tyler has Angel and Kamilla at the very least. Like if I don't got nothing else,
Well,
I got them.
Valkyries could have. They got the fifth pick.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's only a Citron. Low key, I might take the Dominique person. We're not talking about them though, but I might get
Oh
her.
yeah. Nah, I've been here. Yeah. I think because that's an upside swing type pick anyway, and y'all gonna need all the upside y'all can get. So
Might as well. Ain't nothing going on over there. What's her name? Aneesah Morrow on LSU. That's another interesting pick that could be in play at 3-2. I've seen on a lot of mock drafts.
yeah, I saw. I I've
So
seen
strong.
I've seen Anissa mock to Chicago before. And she's a very good player. I would be shocked to see Chicago
Yeah.
not go guard, but I mean, there's obviously value in a player like Aneesah
Yeah,
Morrow,
and you
so it
had two
depends.
picks, so if you want to go wing and then guard the second pick, I mean, you can work that somehow too.
Mm.
I feel like she's supposed to. I mean, she's supposed to be a wing player, and I was thinking that LSU would like try to move her to that this season to just kind of get her more comfortable with that. But like obviously that's not she's not really in a bag yet.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I do wonder how she'll like look in a WBA setting. Because like I mean, like Angel, she does have a really solid motor, but she's also smaller than Angel. So like she don't have the same like capabilities in terms of like wingspan and stuff like that. Whereas I think Angel kind of benefits a little bit from.
Definitely. So we'll see. Well, last year in the draft, I told Donovan just like the day before. Last year, I thought they would go RICKEA 3 and then Angel at 8. I think what they 8 or 7, whatever they had.
Everybody thought they was going RICKEA at 3. Do you know how devastated the entire internet was when we were like, bitch, that's not the right call. Like, what are we doing?
I was
I
on.
was sitting
Man,
next, I was like in the fever watch party, like, did they just allow?
Yeah, I was on a cruise and I was in a little sports bar. Me like an older lady were talking. She's like, "Yeah, I love Richie. I think she goes to Chicago. I was like, yeah, I think she goes to Chicago." And we were just sitting there talking. Then the pick came out. It was like she was like she liked Kamilla too. Then the pick came out. It was like Kamilla. I just sat there. And she's like, "Oh my God, I love the pick." I was like, "Yeah, me too."
I
I
love
said, "We can
Kamilla.
work
I
with
love
this."
Kamilla so much, but like I just could not imagine how that season would have turned out if it had been RICKEA and Angel. Like I
Probably, I mean, no
Definitely would have
shade, it
been a.
probably would have worked better, low key. Because you got RICKEA, who is like already WNBA ready. And I think she would have played better alongside um Dana. And so you don't have that conflict of like who we gonna put out there.
Uh,
Um, so I
mhm.
don't know. I think it might have worked out better, but I mean I think it worked out the way it needed to work out.
I think it worked. And I want to see Camilla get like mean in the next like couple years too. Because I watched her straight like just bully girls at South Carolina.
well she
Granted, when you in the she doesn't really have the physical advantage like she did against most college players. So, but at the same time, it's still not a lot of just 6'7" walking around there. So
well she
I want
uh
to see
she going
her.
she going crazy in China right now, so she might be
Yeah,
figuring that out. uh I her demeanor is just so funny because it just seems like nothing really bothers her. Like
right.
the only time I have ever seen her any type of flustered is when she pushed Satu, and I don't know what Satu did to her, but she gets so Kamilla gets so not mad. I was like, there's no way Kamilla started that. Like I was just like,
Asatu absolutely started that shit. Like she absolutely started that shit. I know she said something crazy to her. And she knew it was gonna piss her off, and she was like, "Get her out of here!" And then they fucking won the game, like you raggedy bitch. I come on, but rip, rip to
Yeah,
that girl.
I was like, that's the only. I ain't never seen you act like that before. Like she must have said something crazy. She must have did. She must have did some OD because you let everything else slide. So I don't know. So, but yeah, we'll see.
R2 is an player. A lot of fans like online. I see saying they want in Chicago next year, but I don't think she's leaving Dallas.
I
she's
think she's
going
gone.
to
Well, I could see.
She
Indiana.
might be gone.
I
She's
hope not.
she's going to
They
Indiana,
should leave it too.
or she's going to New York on a sign and trade.
Please no.
New York would be
New York is
nasty.
gonna have bad juju for the rest of their franchise history, so we didn't even gotta worry about them. We think they're going back
They
to
sold.
back jokes. They're
I
an
know they're not going
unserious
back to that.
franchise.
Hey, what's New York coach name? And
Sandy,
y'all keep forgetting.
Rondo.
Sandy Brondello.
Sandy is super team. Sandy is a super team merchant, and I will win the war
Whack
against her.
her. Whack her again. Whack her again.
Sandy Brondello is WNBA Mike Budenholzer. I've
I
never
believe it.
seen
I was watching all year, at least, especially in the playoffs, saying this should look a lot better than it does.
It's funny because we had Kevin Lewis on here and talked about the Liberty, and he was like, if the Liberty had lost the title, Sandy would have been fired. Like it would, and it wouldn't have been a question.
Not at all.
She wouldn't have got on the
We was
plane.
joking about it, but Nyara literally saved her career. I like respectfully, I'm kind of mad that she did, but she really saved her career. Like you won the game off of fucking Nyara Sabally, who had a bad back, a broke knee. Like the bitch probably played 20 games this season, and you won off of her back. Hell,
Uh, not off Stewie. Not off Sabrina.
no, like not the bitches you paying big bucks to. Nyara, just
Yeah.
crazy.
But Nair was working in that last game, so
Yeah,
Without her,
she really pulled out. Like she pulled up with. She's like, I've never played this lineup before, but we got to try something.
oh,
Let's do it.
no.
And won a championship. Like,
without
Yeah,
She's
her,
like,
my
Kennedy
girl would have
can't
been
get right,
coaching in
Kayla can't get
Australia.
right. Who else next?
I'm saying. So Sandy is on the list for next season. Same
That championship that gave her like
per usual. Who else on the list? I'll update y'all when I finish.
Like I
Don't
said,
worry.
I think everybody else got fired. So everybody else go hold on.
Yeah,
might
pretty
well.
much.
I mean,
Kurt Miller eternally on the list, by the way.
oh
And
well,
well,
he a GM now,
yeah,
so he ain't even gotta worry about it.
yeah, he done been fired and rehired and not a coach no more.
never.
Honestly, who on the list for me is Stephanie White. I know she's a really good coach, but the way she left and got a new job was nasty. So
is
it's like
she?
if you if you don't do what niggas want you to
We finna
do,
find out.
I'm gonna find out what you made of.
I
Because
just know she finna piss me off. Like I just feel it in my, I feel it deep in my bones that she finna piss me off.
if you don't do a better job than Christy Sides, I got some shit to say.
The bar is very low.
I can't.
We're Christy Sides defenders over yonder. I'm sorry to tell you.
Not Christy size defender is crazy.
We're just
That's my sister. They did her so dirty.
Yeah.
Poor Christy.
my girl about to be an assistant in Vegas.
She do need to go get
Probably.
a job.
I mean, honestly, it's three head coaching jobs still available. So, really, anything is possible.
Definitely possible. And about two more that's gonna need, I don't know, about three more expansion teams that's gonna need, need, 3 more expansion teams that's going to need, coaches soon too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Kathy need to
So,
expand these rosters when that's done for.
please expand the rosters.
That should have been done first, but I guess uh,
Hey, we still got the CB.
I
Hey,
guess
we got some
yeah,
time.
yeah.
We got
I guess we asking for too much, but it's coming.
What would you do? Kathy will do something right eventually.
When
Fingers crossed.
they get the
Yeah, I believe
practice facility and expanded rosters, I'll be quiet for a little minute.
So, did y'all see the girl on TikTok that said the Sky haven't started building the practice facility yet?
yes. That's and you know what? Shout out to her because that is real
nah.
investigative
Hey,
journalism.
she
That
really,
is
She did
petty.
her. She really went out there and really scoped out the scene. She looked up the meeting minutes for us. You know, she told us back check her work. She said the city of Bedford. You know, we can go look that up and see if she right or wrong. Quite frankly, I'm a believer because if you did all of that, I don't think you can lie about meeting minutes. Like
The
that's
meeting,
easily checked. I don't know. So yeah, shout out to
she been on
real
it.
journalism.
the meeting minutes is absolutely insane. But shout out to her. I I ugly laughed when I saw that. I said, okay. I said, this is a bit uncalled for, but I'm not mad at you, girl.
She was really whacking them, which is so funny to me.
Oh my lord. No, the truth. But any more questions you guys have?
I was about to ask Jay, would you like to say the line?
I, after you got after you got your Marina Mabrey bars off, I was gonna say, okay, so now I believe all hearts and
Oh,
minds are clear.
absolutely. Marina is on the list. I don't know. I don't hate Marina. She just annoys me a lot. But it's cool though.
She might be
That one Jane,
y'all
Understand?
that
she
one year
might
she
be
had
y'all
like
Grant
27. I
Williams.
thought my phone. Not our Grant Williams is friend.
But
Oh my
this has
god.
been another episode of Pull Up 3. I am Paragon Don,
I'm Jamae.
I'm Jay Trent.
And I'm Sam.
and we are out.